and I had to do it this way, so I can't do it in 3 months. For me, even the way I wrote it, I wanted to, put difference in the letters, so make it bigger and make shadows, so it was not boring to read, so you can have fun reading. This was my thinking, and so I think for me the script, the writing is important to keep it honest and simple. I don't want it to overdo it or because it's fun.
Reading Marcela as reading Pedro Manuel, for me as a Colombian Spanish speaker, sometimes in repulsive. Because the Chilenismo, I spent 4 months, a little over 4 months in Chile, and man, it eludes me sometimes, which is a good thing. It's good to have a kind of passage. You see it's embedded in a place. It's local. We have time for maybe 1 or 2 more questions. And Helen, of course, please.
I have a question for Frank. You told us that you were going to talk about mythology, which you did, and we earlier talked about how you are trying to describe an epic journey with an homosexual and their interest in Odyssey and Sick. I was wondering if we talk about mythology, think about the myth, the two things that come to mind for me at least, most of all would be the divine and the sense of fullness, the deep time, the whole idea. It's not necessarily legend, but the idea. And I was wondering what is it like to draw a myth of the future, not the past? And like, what is it like to create that deep time, which actually has never happened, and in a regressive kind of sense? I think that's really interesting. And and that line, the divine, I was wondering, there are ancient creatures in your work, the speaking and the sense of time and the sense of different levels of being. But I was wondering, how would you envision what the divine is in your work?
Yeah, that's easy. How would I envision what the divine is? Is that well, I'll answer the first part, and then you kind of have to go back to this. But creating a mythology of the future was funny because I had to. I was trying to work. Okay, originally this was going to be a science fiction book with planets, and he was going to travel to all these worlds. So Lucerne was going to be a planet, and the Tigerman were going to have another planet. So it's similar to Flash Gordon in that sense of. And so he was just going to keep planet hopping and all that. And I just said, this is just really boring stuff for me. I've seen this 100 times, and Star Wars does it really well. And how can I bring this down into this human level? And then I realized, well, if I destroy the Earth, and I could rebuild it, and why not, right? There was something there. Then I woke up that day and I was like, Eureka, this was really a lot of fun. Now I could play around with, once I have erased time, I can play around with creating a new time. So now the fun part was to create this timeline. And it's still expanding, as you'll see in the next series. This timeline goes back even further. Now, one of the big flashbacks is what happens to this before the disaster. And even moments after that, things that we don't know. So the timeline keeps playing and changing. I can keep adding to it because what the hell is my timeline? But one of the funny things is I don't know. You never say I'm going to create a mythology. I mean that's just really, it's just too crazy, man. So I was trying to write a good sci-fi pulp, like the old Doc Savage stuff and the shadow, but of course, with a little bit of, like Marcella said, a little bit of me in it. Because this is really the 8-10-year-old kid that used to put the helmet on and say, I'm going to fight in the cave. But, so, the divine and I don't know, I don't understand that the question.
Oh, so we erased time and you reconstructed a world and comes after that.
What comes after that?
Or, I mean, kind of related to that.
Well, it's funny. Very quickly, very quickly. The pattern for Raquetto was I made this kind of little chart on my wall because I knew it was going to be 4 big journeys, and I knew it as soon as I started it. And the pattern was I drew a little concentric circle for the first journey, and that was Raquetto. So everything was going to be about him, and the world was going to be painted in very rough edges. So you can kind of play around. You figure it out. You know, I'll do that work later. And then in the second journey, the circle gets really big, and now we see the world. So that's what this new journey is about. It's the new world. It's, you know, what are the cultures of the tiger? What are the cultures of the birdmen? Why do they hate the tigermen? You know. And so that was fun. I mean, that's what I'm working on now. Now the third book, Raquetto and the Broken Moon, Journey to the Broken Moon. We pull out, so we see now this new world from outer space, and we realize there's life in outer space. You know, that the broken moon, there's all these life forms living in little pieces, and then it's almost like every little piece of the broken moon is a little city with its own story, and it's like, what the hell, does it get any weirder? You know? So it's kind of fun. So now, in the last journey, the last journey, the big finale for the characters, the circle has expanded. The circle, and this is really funny because I just did this as a visual guide for myself, but I still followed. The circle expanded so much, it almost like it broke out and it went in. So the last journey is about, it's Raquetto. We're back to this little boy. The last journey is this kind of the infinite in this little kid, you know, and so the infinite is home. It's finding your home, because that's the immigrant story, right? That's you know, that's when Cuba got destroyed, and we all got to find the home, man. I mean, you know, mine's in Washington Heights right now.
we might as well